While imperfect, measurement is a crucial part of marketing on mobile. There are plenty of valuable metrics available in mobile, and throughout this lesson, I cover key metrics for various mobile marketing activities. Whether you are examining an SMS program, a search campaign, or an app, see which metrics you should track and how to spot mobile-specific problem spots. Make sure your mobile program is successful by identifying valuable KPIs and using them intelligently. In this section, you will learn to express the importance of measurement on mobile, even with imperfect technologies, to correlate key metrics to track for a given mobile marketing service, and to explain the inherent limitations of measurement on mobile.
And it reminds me of that familiar story about 50% of advertising works, we just don't know which 50%. I'm here to tell you, and I hopefully have made the case for you in a variety of ways, that we actually have more ways of knowing if something is working. For instance, in our Ford example, if somebody texted in off of a television spot or off of a print ad, we not only know that we got impressions, we know how many people might have listened in or watched a spot. We have the ability to say this many people picked up their phone and did something. So that's good. But I also want to not sugarcoat this. There are some things that we can measure in mobile, and there are many things that we need to get better at. But people who are way smarter than me say that they can't afford to wait until everything is locked down before they get into this channel, just because, as we have mentioned many, many times, our consumers, our prospects have migrated there, and you can't, one more cliche, fish where the fish were. You need to go where they are now. All right, so what can we track? I'll throw out the word lots. I think that there are many things that we can take a look at and say, all right, we created this campaign. What activity did we see? First one, for messaging and emails, we can look at how many messages were sent out, and we can look at open rates. Now, how do you do that? You work with a vendor who has a dashboard. There are a lot of different flavors and a lot of different UIs when it comes to this, but it's a pretty simple fact to know messages that were sent out, and then you can take a look at open rates. You've been doing that for years with email. You could do the same thing with messaging. For search, you could also look by keyword or by device or by click to call. So you are asking people to do something, and you can take note. One example that I want to throw out there is, let's say you're a brand and you're doing mobile marketing, and you want to use different channels to get your message out there. One way to do it is, if you're using short codes, is to have a different keyword in one channel versus another. What I mean by that is, let's say you're running a campaign and you have Facebook. You can say text the word fly to your short code, and if you have the same campaign running in a different marketing channel, say email, you can have the word airplane as your keyword. And then when you see how folks are responding to that, you can talk about if one channel is performing better than the other. You can make adjustments along the way. It's really a good example of an A/B test. You might want to include both, or you might want to say, you know what, I'm really seeing more activity, more pickup on one versus another. So that's a good way to track. Also, you can also track impressions to conversions on mobile web and apps. We're getting better at that. There are things like deep links, which allow us to know that we're going from to a specific place within an app, and as we go literally month by month and year by year, the granularity allows us to get even more insights into our campaigns. But there are also many hurdles and inhibitors for us to measure. I know that this whole idea of cross-channel journeys, and one of the biggest things that people are presenting as solutions are, hey, we can track the journey of a consumer from the time they get up in the morning until the time they go to bed at night. And that's really not the case. Some companies are getting this closer than others. But some things that are holding us back are things like lack of standardization. And I mentioned QR codes in my Macy's example. Even today, there's a lack of standardization when it comes to QR scanners. So many people, when they purchase a phone or when they get a phone from their employer, there's no QR scanner that is on the device out of the box. So you have to choose one. Maybe you're going to download it from the App Store, and there are different scanners and different standardizations, so not every QR campaign runs the same way. I look back at text messaging was also in a lack of standardization place where you couldn't send messages cross-carrier several years ago. And one of the ways to kickstart text messaging programs was when standardization happened, and also the price of texting came down, which coincided with that. Another hurdle is this whole fat finger concept and unintended actions. And I exercise regularly. I don't think I have especially fat fingers, but I have a pretty small phone. I'm not one of those who's bought into the concept of having the size of a tennis racket next to my ear. So I have a standard smartphone size, if there is such a thing, and I'm still hitting places, engaging with content, engaging with advertising that I wasn't intending to do. I wonder if there's something that the brand is or the network is trying to get unintended clicks to get their action up. I hope that's not the case. I'm a believer that people don't wake up in the morning wanting to do bad things, but there is unintended actions that are being caused by fat fingers. And then I think there's an imperfect tracking of ad placements. You would think that if you were to run a campaign, if you were a brand or a business, and you said, I want to run on these particular publishers through this particular network, there would be, and if you asked 5 different people to run that report, you would get that report the same way with the same results. We're not at that place yet, so attribution needs to get better. But I'll remind you as we close out this section that there is enough that we can measure and enough proof that the course that we take is leading to our business intended result, be it drive traffic to a store, drive traffic to a website, promote a new product, that we can't wait. So I hope that helps. It's really a critical area and something that I would implore you to lean on your vendors, lean on your agencies or those in your world to ensure that there is as much tracking and as much measurement as possible.
Here are the key takeaways. While measurement isn't perfect, we can't afford to wait until it is. Open rates is one way to measure SMS and email campaign results. On search, you can measure by keyword, device, or click to call. The granularity of measurement is improving month after month. Tracking the customer journey is the holy grail, but not yet fully realized.
Hey, want to become an expert in digital marketing? Then subscribe to the Simplilearn channel and click here to watch more such videos. To nerd up and get certified in digital marketing, click here.